Welcome. Welcome to Quarantine with Styles, aka Driving with Styles. Happy Friday to everybody. Been a weird week. Been having to postpone the shows, but I feel like I couldn't just cancel them because I have things to say. So let's get into this real quick. We can get in and out so you can move on to the rest of your Friday night, get ready for your Valentine's Day weekend, and all that good stuff. First off, big win last night for the Lady Cats. We got a basketball team who is not only playing hard, but also being able to close games. And Rhyne Howard is a player that sometimes frustrates me, but she is a bona fide star. And it frustrates me sometimes because she's such a bona fide star that sometimes she doesn't take games over with like I would like her to. Because she's obviously the best player on the team. She's one of the best players in the country, maybe the best player in the country. But with that said, she had an off night. And what great players do, which she is she finds a way to contribute anyway. She had six assists, 7 steals, 7 rebounds. She was off. She only scored 8 points, but she played a good all-around game for a night when she was just not feeling it. And for us to be so disjointed. And this is the one thing the one issue I have with the team is offensively, they don't move enough for me. And I understand the pick and roll to initiate the offense. I understand that. But sometimes the person who's waiting for the pick and roll, they gotta wait. They dribbling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're drilling the ball, waiting for the screener to come. And the girls, there's a 30-second shot clock. And when she's dribbling, that means everybody's stagnant, just standing around. And if that initial pick and roll doesn't work, now he's in some trouble. Sometimes. And I would like to see that movement happen right when the initial pick and roll doesn't work. Get into some type of motion. 4 out, 1 in, 3 out, 2 in, whatever. But get into some motion, man. Get into some player ball movement because they're too good. And the reason why it bothers me, if Massengill is in the pick and roll, or Chastity's in the pick and roll, then you have your best player standing out on the wing doing nothing. When she could at least be a magnet to the defense and having people be aware where she is and drawing some attention. That's the one thing I dislike about the half court offense. Now, when they're rolling, and I'm a proponent of do not let the half court defense of the opponent set up. Get them moving before they're set up, because most of these teams, when you get into college, you get them in the half court set defensively, especially with the size that Tennessee had. It was a bear for us. So let's not let them set up, not let their big men to get into the lane and create havoc in the paint. But that's just me. And I am going to get into some at the end. I'm gonna talk a lot about this NFL thing. Again, if anybody's watching, I appreciate it. Hit me up with any questions, statements, comments. You hit me up on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, etc. So I'm gonna talk about Steph Curry and his brother Seth. Can I be a Curry for like half a day? Damn, Steph is like, I think last 10 games, 34 points, 50+% from the 2, 50+ from the 3. And Seth is right now for the season is shooting 50%, 50%, and 100% from the free throw line. I guess the shooting touch is a genetic deal, because those guys are shooting lights out. And the crazy thing about it, Seth went to Davidson, and did I say Steph? Steph went to Davidson. Seth went to Liberty for a year before he went to Duke. And I said this earlier on a fleet. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I made a statement about that. Nowhere is best for you to go out of college. I'm gonna speak on that while I'm at it. Well, let me say this. Let me do this first. J.J. Watt leaving the Texans. Man, what the hell is going on with the Texans? That organization is horrible. I thought it was bad when they gave O'Brien the GM and head coach tag last year. That was just like, hold my beer. That organization is, man. And then you're going to lose. And it isn't like J.J. Watt is, I would say he's definitely on the backside of his career. But he still played almost every snap last year. So he's not just a serviceable player. He is a bona fide, still great player. And you're just releasing him. Wow. That Houston City is going through some things. From my Astros to the Rockets to the Texans, the organizations just ain't cutting it, man. It's weird. But hope J.J. Watt can go to, I would like to see him in Chicago, because I know his wife plays on the soccer team there, or get him to Green Bay. Get him close to home so he can end his career at home or close to home. That's where I like the guy. I admire the guy. I would like to see him get back home and close to home. So I was talking about that thing about players knowing where they should go. I'll talk about this, then I'll talk about the NFL draft. A little bit about us NFL draft. As a student athlete, you have to understand that not everybody is from out of college, from out of high school, ready to play on the big stage. And I'll say this. We had Dennis Johnson on the Locker last night. You guys should watch the show, man. It's a great show with me and Anthony White. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Dennis made a statement of why he came to Kentucky. Okay? One reason he said he came to Kentucky, his dad told him about getting reps. And it's so true. About getting reps. Okay? about getting yourself on film. Not only getting yourself on film helps you with the scouts, it helps you with you perfecting your craft. So the reason I got into that is I read an article from one of our great writers here in Baton Rouge, and there was this guy from nice high school here. He led that team to their first state championship ever. Great quarterback, great high school quarterback, but he had limitations, and that's always a thing where you're always going to go to your local school. Where LSU was obviously local, but LSU had quarterbacks. Why would you go there and sit behind quarterbacks who it's tough? I wish, and I said this, and people thought I was crazy. I'm like, he is an FCS quarterback. He would have killed it on the FCS, I don't know what you call it, platform. Because he's a little short, but he's smart, and he has a pretty nice arm. And he can run it. But he's smart. So now he could have played on an FCS level, maybe started as a freshman and put up some numbers, and then maybe step back up to the Power 5 conference. But he wasn't ready to do that from jump. There's a lot of things that go into it. I just knew it. And guess what? He's at an FCS now. On his 5th year, he went from LSU to a JUCO to Missouri. Now he's back home at an FCS school. Now he went the long route to get back to where he should have started at. Problem is, there are not just him, your parents, the hanger-ons have too big an ego, and they all worried about the wrong thing. Oh, we got to get him to LSU so we can say he went to LSU. No, man. Get your kid an opportunity. There was a girl that played at my high school years ago. Good player, not great. The dad was all gung-ho about her playing the SEC. She went to Auburn and didn't play because she wasn't that caliber player. She could have played at like Arkansas State like my sister did and balled out and had a chance to go play in Europe or go have a chance to possibly get to WNBA because she was athletic. She had great size, great length, had the chance, but she went to Auburn. She wasn't that caliber. She sat on the bench after being a star in high school. I want people to understand, go to the place that fits your skill set out of high school. You can always migrate upward later, but get yourself on film. Get yourself reps, game reps, and then let the chips fall as they may. Last thing, before I get up out of here, is I saw a tweet today. Somebody tagged me about Jamin Davis. And this is what I want people to understand about football. Let's compare Jamin Davis to Kevin Joseph. You remember as fans certain plays. I guarantee you remember the play that the Auburn receiver caught over Kevin Joseph. I guarantee you remember the pick six return by Jamin Davis. I guarantee you remember the touchdown caught by Kyle on Kevin Joseph against Florida. That's a handful of plays. That's a handful of plays. See what happens now with this time after the Super Bowl is teams start to freaking dissect and nitpick. And what they nitpick is every play. Not just the big plays that we remember. Not like the one, like the hit that Jamin Davis had on I can't remember who it was, or the one interception that Kevin Joseph had against such and such. They look at every play. Next thing to look at is how can you translate to the next level? Because sometimes, here's the thing. I had a pretty good career at corner in college. But when you look at all the plays, I didn't translate to a corner on the next level. Now, when it happened, I was like, y'all stupid. How can I just play corner for 3 years in college and did very well, all conference, everything. But when I got to practice with the Bears, I understood why. There are things that I could do in college that I can't do in the league. And because of that, it didn't translate because I didn't have enough reps on film of me playing press man. So if you can't play press man in the league, you can't play corner. Now, if I would have went to a team that plays zone, maybe I could have played some corner. But most teams don't play zone. The corners are playing man. They play zone over the top of them. Either man under or linebacker. It's the corners are typically always man. Not always, but the majority of the time. They do play some true zone sometimes. That's where you can see Kevin Joseph inch up on the board and Jamin Davis slide down. The reason why is when you see Kevin Joseph, when we played press man, he played it very well. And what that does, it translates to the league because that's what they're going to primarily play. He was not as good in zone. He got better during the season, but he wasn't as efficient in off-man zone coverage with us. But when you put him on the line of scrimmage, put him in press man, he succeeded. You know what GMs do? They look at the film where he's playing press man because that's what we run. He covered such and such in press. He covered such. So now he stock starts to rise. And what adds to it, he's 6+, 190+, which means he's big and long. Okay? So that's why Kevin Joseph starts to creep up. And if you watch my breakdowns of film, the reason why Jamin Davis will slide down, because he has great numbers. He's great height, great size, great speed. But when you start dissecting the film, there are certain things that will make certain GMs pause. And I consistently said that all year. I thought he needed another year to hone his craft. Now, I understand, if you get a grade, I can hone my craft when I get to the league. Because I don't have to go to school. I can just dive into the playbook, go to the freaking facility every day, go there early, work a little extra with the assistant coaches. It makes sense. But I'm telling you, it's going to make some people pause. There are certain things, as I said this earlier this week, there are players and there are playmakers. I can make a playmaker a player. Because what a player does, he does what he's supposed to do all the time. He's in the right position. If he has a gap, he hits a gap. But there's a situation game where you just got to go make a play. And he or she can't make the play. A playmaker is somebody whom goes out and makes a play, meaning that they might have a gap, but they dissected the play and said, where it's not coming here, it's going into C gap. Let me shoot the gap and get a TFL or strip the ball. Or, for example, like me always, I'm in cover 3 on the backside. Well, why am I going to defend area of the field that ain't nobody coming to? I'm going to play my guy man to man and get a pick. That's a playmaker. Now, I can make a playmaker a player, because all I'm going to tell him is you got to understand the situation down the distance, where we're on the field, and then you decide you can't make a play on every play. But when you do, just go full speed. See what I'm saying? I can make a playmaker a player. That's innate ability in their head. That's what a playmaker are. That's why not everybody is a playmaker. Playmakers are born. I say this about a lot of things because I believe this. There are certain things in athletics that you are born with. You can't coach that. One thing is being a playmaker. There are guys who just naturally see the game, slows down for them, and they can dissect the play and know exactly where to go, even though that might not be their total responsibility. I can make a playmaker into a player. All I have to do is just tell him or her certain things about the game. It's easier as a coach to have someone who is a dog, who's ultra aggressive, and to rein them in a little bit than someone who's a little meek and try to bring the dog out of them. So this evaluation in the NFL is going to be interesting, because the way I see it is, I said this when Kevin Joseph can be a second round pick because he has size. If Kevin Joseph goes and run a 4.4, he might be a second round pick. If Drake Jackson, who just had a great Senior Bowl practice, he's going to move up the board. He could be like a 4th round pick. Landon Young could be a 4th or 5th round pick. The thing about linebacker is very difficult, and you better have the natural instinct. And what I said is, I don't think Jamin has had enough reps. He hasn't had enough reps because there are certain things that he was slow to getting to. So, it's going to be interesting. Like I said this on the flea. I said, Kevin Jones is going to be the first Kentucky player off the board. I really do believe that. And I'm not sure Jamin Davis is going to be the second. He might be the third. Because I'm going to tell you someone to look out for. And I don't know, this is just me personally. I'm not a GM, so I don't know what the boards are like. But Quinton Bohanna, when you watch his film over and over again, people are going to fall in love with him. Bohanna and Jackson one of them is going to be, in my opinion, the second Kentucky player off the board. Now, if Jamin Davis goes and run a 4.3 and a 40, then he moves up just off athletic ability. And some coach going to say, well, I can coach him up. Because you can't coach speed. When he's 6'4", 6'5", 240, you can't coach 4.3. That's just like White and David for Tampa Bay. You can't coach speed. If he goes and runs a 4.3 or a low 4.4, scratch everything I said. He might be the first guy on the board. But he's going to have to show something crazy like that. But the difference is David and White instincts are on another level compared to where Jamin is right now. That's why I would have liked him to come back another year. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Because I want that kid to succeed. Because when he succeeds, we succeed. When he becomes a second round pick, these guys in Georgia and Florida and Ohio and in Michigan and Texas and etc., it makes us look great. Because when you come to Lex Vegas and you see those facilities, it's hard to say no. You add that with first, second, third round picks, it makes it even harder. And you can play right now. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys and gals, appreciate you guys watching on this late on this Friday night. Hopefully I can get back to my 7:30 times on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Again, check out The Locker Tuesday and Thursdays, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a great show yesterday with Dennis Johnson, Kentucky legend. You can check that out on YouTube on Twitter at the Locker 401 across all social media platforms. And you can also hit us up on podcasts on all major podcast platforms. Have a good weekend. Have a good Valentine's Day this Sunday. And I'll see you guys on Monday.
1:16 left to play the game. Quarterback drops it.